My name is Laura Richards and I am a Macmillan Benefits Advisor. This presentation is to give you some advice about welfare benefits and what you might be eligible to apply for. The benefits system can be quite complex, and so I will give some basic guidance. If you would like a benefits check or further guidance on what you might be entitled to, I will give my contact details at the end of this presentation. Also, eligibility will depend on your status in this country. Generally, you will need to have recourse to public funds. There are two types of benefits, means tested and non-means tested benefits, and what you can claim will depend on your age as well as your circumstances. First of all, I will discuss benefits for people of working age, that is to say, people who are not yet receiving their state pension. If you are now unable to work but are normally employed, then the first thing you need to check is with your employers to find out what your entitlement is to sick pay. You must have a contract and earn at least £120 a week and be ill for at least 4 days in a row. This does include weekends. You can be an employee or an agency worker. Your contract will tell you what your pay entitlement is when you are sick. It may be statutory sick pay, which is currently £95.85 a week. Employers vary in what they will pay. Some pay full pay for a period of time, but they must at least pay statutory sick pay. Statutory sick pay is paid for 28 weeks. If you have had other periods of sickness, they may count as linked. To be linked, the periods must last 4 or more days each and be 8 weeks or less apart. Therefore, these periods of sickness would count towards your 28-week allowance. If you live on your own or with a partner with no or a very low income, you may also be able to claim some universal credit, which will top up your income if you only get statutory sick pay. If you are self-employed, then you cannot apply for sick pay. In this case, if you've paid enough national insurance contributions, usually in the last 2 to 3 years, you can apply for a benefit called New Style Employment and Support Allowance. Applications are made by completing a form which is available from the government website www.gov.uk and then search New Style ESA or NSESA. This is paid at a basic rate of £74.35 for an assessment period of 12 weeks. If you are receiving a private pension as well, this will also be taken into account and will likely reduce the amount that you get paid in New Style Employment and Support Allowance. During that 12 weeks, you will be asked to complete a form that asks for more information about why you're unable to work. If you are having treatment when you get the form, or recovering from treatment, then you only need to fill in some parts of the form. You will be automatically treated as having limited capability for work, and then you will be paid an extra premium, which will bring your income from New Style Employment Support Allowance up to £113.55 a week. If your sick pay ends and you are still not well enough to return to work, you will need to consider other benefits that you can apply for. Your employer should send you a form called an SSP1 form, which you will need to apply for other benefits. The most likely benefit you will apply for will be New Style Employment and Support Allowance, as explained already, and universal credit, which will help you with your rent if you pay rent. If you haven't been working at all and have been supported by your partner, then it is unlikely you will qualify for any means-tested benefits. If you are self-employed but haven't paid enough national insurance contributions to receive New Style Employment and Support Allowance, then you would make an application for universal credit. You can also apply for universal credit if you pay rent and have children living with you. If you have a partner, which means you're also eligible to claim universal credit, then you have to make a joint claim. Also, savings play a large part in universal credit. If you have up to £6,000 in savings, they aren't taken into account. If you have between £6,000 and £16,000, some of it is taken into account. And if you have over £16,000, you cannot apply for universal credit. Universal credit has several different elements to it. The old housing benefit is one element, and there are also elements for children, which replaces child tax credits. The old working tax credit for people who work but are on a low income, and also a carer's allowance. So if you apply for universal credit and are already getting tax credits, your tax credit claim will cease and will become part of your universal credit claim. If you rent privately, then what you are paid towards your rent will depend on the makeup of your family and the old bedroom tax. What universal credit doesn't include is help towards your council tax. This has to be applied for separately through your local council. Universal credit is applied for online through the government website www.gov.uk and then search universal credit. If you pay a mortgage and are struggling to cover the payments, then it's best to talk to your mortgage provider as soon as possible. If you have payments of universal credit, if you've had 9 payments in a row, you can apply for help with the interest part of your mortgage. However, this is paid to you as a loan and at the rate that the government sets. So as it's a loan, it does have to be paid back at some time. If you're already receiving your state retirement pension, and that together with any income you may have is less than £173.95 a week if you are single, and less than £265.20 if you have a partner, then you can apply for a benefit called pension credit. Pension credit will then bring it up to those amounts that I've just quoted. If you need help with your rent, then this is also applied for through pension credit. Help with council tax is still applied for through your local council. Pension credit is applied for over the phone. The number to call is 0800 99 1234. If you have a partner who is younger than you and does not yet receive their state pension, then you will need to claim universal credit, not pension credit. Likewise, if you are under pension age but your partner is over pension age, then you will also have to apply for universal credit. These are the rules for mixed age couples, as they are termed, from benefits. Pension credit is more lenient with the amount of savings that it takes into account. It also leads to other benefits such as warm home discount, which is provided by most gas and electricity suppliers, although not all of them. If you are receiving a state pension and still working, you are still eligible for sick pay from your employers. We'll now explain non-means tested benefits. These are benefits known as disability benefits, and the one that you would apply for depends on your age. They don't take into account income or savings, and you can still work and receive them. Anyone up to 16 applies for disability living allowance. Anyone from 16 to 65 and getting your state pension applies for personal independent payment. Or should I say, and not yet receiving your state pension applies for personal independent payment. And if you are in receipt of your state retirement pension, it's attendance allowance that you apply for. These benefits are not dependent on what your illness is, but look at how you're affected by your illness. Each of them has a daily living component, and DLA and PIP also have a mobility component. However, attendance allowance does not. If you're applying for PIP or DLA, then the mobility component can be used towards a vehicle. Each of them are applied for by the completion of an application form. You will also need to send in medical evidence to confirm your health condition and how it affects you. In the case of DLA and PIP, there is also an assessment which is, under normal circumstances, is done as a face-to-face assessment. However, at the moment, these are being conducted over the phone due to COVID-19. Each of them considers things such as your ability to prepare a meal from scratch, washing and dressing yourself, communication skills, how you interact with other people in a social setting, and managing money. The physical and mental health are taken into consideration, and they are looking for your difficulties in carrying out these tasks, and the difficulties that you have need to be for at least the majority of the time. So if you're struggling with something for 4 days a week, that would be considered the majority of time. They do take into account a fluctuation in your conditions. They look at what help you need. You don't need to be getting the help to make the application for the benefits. They decide whether you need help. That's the main criteria. They also look to see if there is maybe an aid that you use or you could use to help you do things. And also they take into account whether you really need somebody to encourage and to prompt you to do something, or somebody actually needs to complete a task for you rather than just assisting with you. To apply for PIP, you have to call a phone number. You call 0800 917 2222 and ask to apply for PIP. They will take your national insurance number, your bank account details, and ask you a few questions over the phone. They will then send an application form. Once you have the form, you have a month in which to complete the form and return it to them. If you do need a little longer, then you have to let them know, and they will give you a little bit longer to do that. Attendance allowance is applied for purely with a form. You complete the form, you send the medical evidence in, and you don't have to attend a face-to-face assessment. Attendance allowance forms can be printed off the internet. Again, it's off the government website, which is www.gov.uk. Search attendance allowance and there will be a form there. You can print one off that you fill in with a pen, or you can print one off that you've filled in online, so you can type your answers and then print that off to sign it. As I mentioned earlier, I'm happy for anyone to contact me if they need any actual assistance to apply for benefits or would like a benefit check to see exactly what they can apply for. My phone number is 07854 926 922. My email address is l.richards@cencab, that's cencab.org.uk. Also, if you have applied for one of the disability benefits and you have been told that you're not eligible and you don't agree with the decision and would like to challenge it, you can also contact me for some help with that, and I will assist you to make the appeal. There are 2 stages to an appeal. The first one is just explaining why you think the DWP has made the wrong decision. If you're still not happy with that outcome, you can then appeal to an independent tribunal. I hope this presentation has been of use, and please do not hesitate to contact me if there is any further advice that you would like.